Good morning. Okay, that song command just never works, does it? Let's be honest. Good morning. Ay. Good morning, everybody. Hope you're all good. It's a bit cooler today, which is nice. It's not that much cooler, I'll be honest, though. Do 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 do. What to wear today? No, Doc's not going on duty, so. That's what I said. I'm about to be famous instead. Let's go this. It's 30, where you are? Yeah, it's fucking, you know what? I want to add the temp. Oh, it's 27 degrees. My watch just told me. So it's fucking, it's hot, but it's gonna get hotter, I'll be honest. I see myself streaming like 3 or 4 hours until it gets way too hot in this room. And then I'll kind of let the room cool down with no streaming, no GTA, and then I'll come back around tsunami time, which is in 7 hours. Is my shower so far? Yeah. Let's get fixed tomorrow morning. Just a bit annoying, but so tomorrow's stream, which is going to be some community games and a chill day. Don't know when it's going to be because I want to do it in the morning, but it might not be able to do it in the morning because my power might be off to fix the shower and stuff. So we'll see. We might do BGC tomorrow, yeah, maybe. I need to finish that fucking game, dude. I blame fucking Medi and Vigors and everybody, dude. All right. Well, we've got the panel today. Panel is in 8 hours and 10 minutes. I wear my sunglasses at night. We need some food. Hey, look here. Yeah, an hour after tsunami. Yeah. Just for Brian today, yeah. So Waters is looking to be sometime tomorrow. Oh, there is some food. Yoink. Yoink is around. She's leaving me. Because what's authority? But there's not a lot of cops on duty. The Flop's on duty. I don't think we've been on duty with Flop for a while. See Betty making Brian. Yeah, I can see. I don't know what Brian's gonna do. I don't know what his plan for the panel is, but I'm sure he's got one. It's gonna be C4 at the panel.
Appreciate it.
Hey, son.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm okay. Give me 1 minute. Let me know when you got the plate. Sorry, I'm just wrapping up at Harmony real quick. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, brother. Where the hell have you been?
There's a dead dog in my office.
What?
I've been well, I went to Sanguine.
Where are
Yeah.
you? I want to talk to you in person.
Mission Road, captain's office.
Okay. Might be one of the few times I go where I don't get in trouble.
You've been getting in trouble.
No, but you know, every time someone says captain's office, they immediately think bad news. I don't think bad news anymore. I'm the one that's in the office yelling at people now.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, yeah, I need a ranger down here.
Okay. Yep. I'm on the way.
All right. Bye bye. You bet the senator appears. Uh, yeah, the senator very much might appear. You know wrong. I think I have the dog. Chat, don't look. Wasn't me. Oops. He's all right. Panel for dog. Panel for you. Panel for you. Ding 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 ding. Oop! Oop the Jeep! Oop! Oh! Did I get a pet option? This dog's just fucking knackered, mate. Hold on, you said. Take the 301 that we kicked it.
You want my petty answer?
You want to pet the dog?
No. You my petty answer.
What pet your answer?
This dog is a lieutenant, and I am unable to.
Oh, piss off.
He's sleeping. Look at him. He's got a vest on. He's on duty.
Right. What do you want to talk about? Why did you want to talk in person?
Well, I don't know. Maybe because I don't know. My dad didn't text me or inform me that he was going to war, and instead of informing his son that he was going to be going over there, responding to his text message that was probably about 10 or 11 days ago, been a little concerned and worried about you and knowing if you're even alive or still breathing. Haven't gotten a text or notification from anyone but Etta. So I wanted to see it for myself to make sure I wasn't looking at a fucking prosthetic robot. So yeah, I kind of wanted to see you in person.
I didn't see that text. I didn't see that, sorry. I'm
glad to see that you're okay. I'm not gonna ask how things went. I don't need to know. I have a rough idea. But are you at least okay?
physically, yeah. Yeah, I'm great.
Mentally? Hope it's the same feeling I'm feeling. This place is a hellhole to be in right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty tired, I'll be honest.
You know what's funny? I was in this office about 4 days ago with Kurt Doug, and I was sitting right where you were sitting because I was dealing with a police complaint. And Kurt asked me, how are you doing, Flop? I said, Kurt, do you want the honest answer to that? I said, Kurt, I am tired. I am very tired. I don't want to say defeated, but I'm exhausted. I'm worn out. I'm like, I didn't go to the war. But having to deal with the complaints from the civilian side and the police side and being used as a pimple, being squeezed from both sides, has gotten very tiring.
Yeah. What kind of complaints you got?
Unfortunately, for me, the one that keeps coming to my table is the EMS situation regarding the bomb. And I've reserved, my feelings toward it because I've had a lot of cops come to me asking for updates, looking for updates and knowing, if high command is in contact with me. And I've had to remind everybody, including multiple meetings, that I unfortunately am not going to be in that discussion, but that we should be trusting our high command to be aware of it. Now, granted, respectfully speaking, personally, a simple sentence stating that, PD is aware of it, I think would have caused a little bit less of a hassle for patrol units right now, considering a lot of people are stopping us and don't really want to look at us, which I, respectfully speaking, reserve the right to think that they probably have a reason to. And they would have a reason to. But the one that comes to me is the EMS thing. And it's frustrating.
I mean, what's your opinion on it?
I think that the same thing I've told other people who have asked me for how I feel about it. If under any circumstance we have evidence, bring it fucking forward. It upsets me. It bothers me. It defeats me. I mean, obviously because it happened, but it's more the way that we're viewed right now is not good. And I've had multiple officers come to me and tell me that they don't even want to wear the badge right now. They're not proud to. They're concerned to. They're fearful to. People tell me that they don't even want to get on duty right now. I mean, if you want my honest opinion, not as assistant chief and sergeant talking, as your son talking, it's very demoralizing right now. Because all I'm trying to do is keep people on duty and reassure them that they're needed here and that they're valued here. And being told that, well, high command is, doesn't value me. So who am I fighting for? I'm trying to explain to people that they're not fighting is a whole other ballpark.
Why do people feel undervalued right now?
Because we're constantly being called, EMS killers and, people making snarky comments about what's going on. It's become like it's become more of like us being a circus to people and less of us looking like a police department.
Yeah, I get that. I think the trust is gone, really, isn't it? If we had any, it's gone.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. There are not a lot of people that I trust with with everything in the PD. I will trust you the same way that I would trust someone who I disliked heavily, because it's the right thing to do in the field and we have to put our differences aside. But I can tell you flat out, there's about a good 90% of this police department I would never invite over to my house for fucking dinner. there's a lot of people who I don't know. Because I know it's not all a high command. And I know that most of command probably feels the same about things. But there are definitely a select few that do stand out over others.
How do you mean?
You know what I mean? Like, just... I don't know. Would you not argue that certain things that happen were not well translated by certain people? I'll give you a perfect example, and I'm not.
Yeah.
Respectfully speaking, I'm not name and vein thing. I'm just, this is how I felt before. This is how I'm going to feel after. But Commissioner Justice coming to a meeting and telling a bunch of people in a room, you're going to fight for your life. You're going to fight for this. You're going to fight for that. You're fighting for your state. You're doing the right thing by going. And people just looking for something, be on board. Hey, that's great. I'd love to support. What are we fighting for? And being given the just trust me, bro treatment. And then having to hear in shift 3, a bunch of people say, we don't even know the guy and he wants to send us somewhere. Was, I mean, stuff like that not being translated properly, it did not make for the transition of any of this any more helpful.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. You know, it's not exactly the nicest thing to say, but he's no longer with us. So when it comes to him, that won't be a problem anymore. But
hey, just quickly, really sorry. Hey, did the customer call you?
yeah, I said I'd call him back.
Okay, I will ask Snow otherwise.
He's just texted me. He said he's where is he? He says, "I was looking to get cleared to get back on duty." Oh, I think he's at mission. He's here at Mission Row right now.
Okay, I'll get Snow to deal with it.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, the way I see it is there was a lot of things that made the situation bad, like the actions of people that made it bad. But we did ourselves no favors after we got back home with our communication, the way we handled things. Obviously, it's a unique situation that we haven't dealt with before. But there might have been a sliver of trust that we could have retained with the public if we had openly made statements and said we were looking into things and this and that. But we made a press statement 3 or 4 days ago, so
yeah,
it was a bit late. And then obviously you've got Toretti retiring and Axel's dead, so
yeah. I actually had a conversation, a long one with Toretti.
Oh yeah, what did you say?
Have you spoken to him yet?
I spoke to him the day, his first day of retirement, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, I just, you want the truth? I went to him and asked him why he did what he did, why he left. He gave me the rundown. He explained everything. I'm gonna be honest. I went to him because I had considerations of leaving too. And I wanted to know why he felt the way that he did. I'm gonna mark you 10-7 real quick. This way they can have badge count. I just wanted to hear his reasoning and get an understanding as to justifying sort of my reasoning. And I actually took away another viewpoint from Toretti's conversation that I did not have the first time. Toretti left on a stand. He left to make a statement. And unfortunately, I don't see how him leaving was going to make the impact. But I understand why he did it in that regard, that he was hoping it was going to make an impact. Though the argument that I made at the end of his conversation that I thought about was, what would happen if you, me, and every other officer in this PD walked out of patrol? Do you know what would happen?
I don't know.
The Senate would look at 30 people that have been in a waiting list to get into PD and hire 30 compliant people that serve the fucking Senate.
Yeah, I figured that would be the what would happen. I said the same thing. It's like, look what happened to Bass. You know, they pulled in a new commissioner from
who knows?
Yeah, who knows where.
I never met the guy. Imagine that.
He was clearly very loyal to the Senate, and so they just do the same thing. I think they just do the same thing if we all walked out.
I really tried to justify leaving. I was so at my points, but I really thought about it. And I can't think of another circumstance where the Senate would not want full control. And the way that I see it is, the only way that I would leave here is if I was fired. Because I would go down at least speaking my truth and getting my point across, whether it meant something or nothing. I don't think leaving without saying my piece would solve anything. And when you get a bunch of people who don't have experience in this police department, you get a bunch of people who also have no experience to know what's right and wrong, which gives the Senate the control that they're looking for. And I'm just not having that shit.
Yeah, me neither. I don't plan on going anywhere anytime soon.
Out of all this, have you thought about leaving?
I thought about it for a minute. But then I thought that I've been doing this for a long time now, questioning people with power, and oftentimes giving up when I realized there was nothing to do, and that we're just going to do whatever they want. But before it was members of high command, maybe, but this is a member of government, and to me it goes all the way to the top. And if I gave up, then I have no control on what everybody else does. I just know what I can do, and so I'm just going to follow it through to the end, no matter what happens.
Are you worried about ever getting fired? Or
I'll
trying
be
to do
honest,
the right thing?
That's the least of my worries when it comes to the senator. So, no, not really.
Okay.
I mean, if they expect us to roll over and do whatever they want, without question, which is, I think, what Brian and Axel and the senator want, then that's just not going to happen. And I'm not going to let that happen. The other day I had a meeting, and I don't know who said it, but somebody, I guess, let slip to the commissioner, who wasn't there, that I had told everybody that they could skip chain of command. That's what he said to me. He came up to me after we had accused him of some stuff. He ended up coming back in the room and said, "Hey, dog, I heard you told everybody to skip chain of command." And you know what I really said? What I really said was, if somebody tells you to do something you think is morally wrong or illegal or against PD standards, you don't have to do it. And that's what they got out of it. Then I told them to skip chain of command.
Who said that? Who came in and said that?
Well, that was
I don't know.
Axel, and Axel wasn't there, so he had heard it from somebody else in the room.
So lost in translation. Wow, shocker. PD communication is never fails to strike.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's just history repeats itself when we don't question the people in power. And so this is just going to happen again unless we put our foot down and say, hey, you know, maybe this isn't the right thing to do. And we failed the first time. And we had to go fight a war where 3 people died. 3 cops.
Yeah. I don't know what needs to happen. I don't know who I think would be the best pick. But damn, do I miss, as much as him and I didn't get along, do I miss Toretti? I honestly wish he never left.
I tried to speak to him at the funerals yesterday, but I couldn't catch him. He ran away.
I wasn't able to go. Did it go okay?
It was interesting. Certainly one of the more interesting funerals I've been to. Yeah. But other than that, it was good. Yeah, it was nice.
Okay.
Listen, have you spoken to your dad lately?
I probably saw you last before I saw him. It's been a long time since I've seen Matt.
Okay, well, if you do see him, just don't talk to him about any of this stuff. Just leave him out of it. I'll be honest, I think if he knew everything that I do, I really don't know if he'd stay on as a police officer. Especially because he was a lot closer to the, you know, some of the people over in the island than I am.
Is there any reason why this is gonna get kept from him, or why you're asking me to? Because what I'm trying.
If he wants to know,
forgive
then we
me
can
if
tell
I'm
him.
okay. Because I was gonna say, forgive me if I'm wrong, but in a situation like this where I'm getting on duty, I would want to know some detail so I know what I'm walking into.
Yeah, I'm not saying hide it from him. I'm saying don't bring it up. Because he probably just wants to get on duty and work and help people and catch cars and write jaywalking and speeding tickets, and because that's what he loves doing and that's what he loves about the job. He doesn't love hearing about people committing war crimes on his friends halfway across the ocean. He doesn't enjoy that. Nobody does. So unless he asks, just don't bring it up.
But you know he's gonna find out, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. All right. I haven't seen him recently, but I'll bear that in mind.
How's Tessa doing? You seen her lately?
Tessa's okay. I know that I believe Divine was caught.
Mm-hmm.
And she was in the monitor room listening to it. And I just walked up to her and gave her a hug. She's stressed out. As for Juno, I have not seen Juno in a little bit. She did try calling me at one point, but that was a few days ago.
All right. Well, yeah. As long as you're all right, you know.
Am I allowed to say that I'm tired?
I think everybody's tired. I'll be honest.
If you ask me who, I cannot for the life of me. There's been a lot of conversations the last like week. I could not tell you who had brought it up with me, though I didn't hear it spoken about, so I don't know if I should have found out. But someone had told me that Brian Knight was suspended. And
Yeah,
yet
that's accurate.
I saw him on duty yesterday or the day before. I don't know if it was for something, but I saw him on duty, so I didn't know if he was like what was going on.
As far as I'm aware, he was unsuspended to assist with a case, I guess.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
I gotcha. There was a lot that happened the last couple of days. There was also a prison holdout. I don't know if you heard about that.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Yeah. You want to know what annoys me with that whole thing? Not that we could have prepared any better, unfortunately, but I mentioned to command like 4 days prior to the situation that happened yesterday that Harvey had overheard a plan being taken place with prisoners and that we need to be on high alert. And no one notified or responded to it. And then when I heard that this happened, I just kind of shook my head.
Yeah. I mean, there's only so much people can do anyway. Buddy, if they hear a plan.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, DLC are pretty limited on everything, I think. Yeah, listen, the only concerns that I've heard is, you know, various levels of corruption coming out of DOC and people being fired and things like that, but hopefully they're on top of it, you know?
I gotcha. All good. Yeah, I don't really have a lot going on right now. I'm trying to keep some morale in shift 3. I'm trying not to be too hard on people. Not giving them breaks, but just I want people on duty. No idea how else to put that. I want to see numbers. I want to see people on duty. I want to see people enjoying patrol. It's been an uphill battle for a while, and if anything, it is most uphill it's been right now. So
yeah, I mean, the main thing is
thing.
we need day-to-day patrol running. You know, if we as High Command are going to deal with the fallout of this situation, then we need you guys as command to keep the day-to-day running and kind of handle shit, really.
That's doable.
All right, good. Well, you know, you need anything, just give me a call or a text, and I'll definitely read it.
Okay, that's fine. If you're gonna be around for a bit today, let me know. But if you need anything, I'm around.
Oh, good.
Do you need money? Do you need anything?
No, I've got like 1.8 million.
No, more
Oh,
than me.
Have we heard about the house?
Kaiba tried calling me. He wanted a cat.
Yeah, he wanted the panther, right?
Yeah, and Tessa flat out laughed and said no. So no, but I did get the little house up in Office 68. So I mean, it's not all that bad.
What?
You have keys to it. You should have keys to it.
What do you mean I have keys? To what? You haven't given me any keys.
What are you talking about? Did we not talk about this?
You said you haven't seen me for like 3 weeks. So when have you given me keys?
This house has been around for like 2 months at this point. Here.
Oh, here we go. The guy that complains about communication didn't communicate. I see what happened.
Here, no, just here. This is my key. There's a spare under the
Is this a serial
doormat.
killer house?
Yes.
Why the fuck did you buy that?
To be fair, Etta bought it because I couldn't buy any more houses. I maxed out.
You're an idiot. How much money did you spend on that?
If I told you, you would not be upset. That house was less than a Taurus. In fact, to be specific, that house was like 120 grand.
That's a lot of money.
You just said you have 1.8 mil.
Okay, and
A house for the family at $120,000 with
like
plenty of land?
That's like 6%. That's like a lot of money.
Well, the good God, it's better than what I paid for all the other houses for the office.
Do you even sleep in it?
I do actually.
I don't believe you.
I did.
You did once?
No, I do. I go up there all the time. There's a yoga mat in there. I wake up there, take a nice leisurely stroll to the ranger station. I keep my cars there.
You know, you kind of sound like Ted Kaczynski.
If I who that person, would you be mad?
You've got a, yes, I would. You've got a cabin in the middle of the woods where you have it as like a retreat where you kind of take care of yourself and do yoga and all this crap. You know who Ted Kaczynski is?
I'm assuming a serial killer.
You could say that. He was the Unabomber.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, I'm not living in a serial killer house, so I don't know why you bought that.
How do you know it was a serial killer house?
Because you told me.
It's past statute.
All right. So is Michael Simone. Does it make him not a terrorist anymore? Don't even. You know what? Don't answer that question because I know you're gonna come at something stupid. You know, Michael Simone's a flight instructor at AirX. I'm not even gonna. I haven't got the time to get into that with Jackie Snow at the minute.
I mean, has he actually turned his new leaf like he said he was going to?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm all for second chances, but this man's a terrorist. A terrorist. Convicted.
You know, fuck me. He still has terrorism on his record. Yeah, you know, I can't argue with that.
Oh, so as soon as it goes up his record, he's a good man again.
You want to hear something funny? Do you know Nolan Thomas?
The lawyer.
Uh-huh. He fucking hates me. I'm not saying like he dislikes me or he just doesn't like to see me. Hate. This man would rather see me dead.
What did you do?
Okay.
Keep it
I will try.
TLDR, please.
I'm gonna try and TLDR. Me, Peach, Peach Drive, community outreach, Alta Street Apartments. Spoke to individual. Peach took off, hit him. I look behind. He gets up. Didn't see him call 911 or lay down or anything.
So you didn't even check on the guy?
Got striked for it. I was in the passenger seat. I told Peach we should go back. She goes, nah. Never called 911. Nothing. Never got his name. Fast forward. Find out man makes a police report. I'm informed about it by an officer and told that I might be getting questioned. And I said, okay. I said, what's his name? Nolan Thomas. Okay, number, blah, blah, blah. Called him. Didn't answer. He was down repping somebody in the cells. And I approached him. And I said, hey, Nolan, can I speak to you real quick? And I said, hey, Nolan, on behalf of the UPD, I want to formally apologize for what happened at the Alta Street Apartments. I did not want that outcome to happen. I did my best to try and at least give the reassurance to see if you were okay. I saw you standing up. I didn't realize you actually broke any bones or hurt yourself. I want to apologize. I know where I could do better.
Big sussy in this.
And I promised to do
Major
better,
Brock,
not
thank you
have
for
the
the
same
6
mistake
months,
happen
buddy.
again.
I appreciate you,
This was
man.
prior before anything. I just wanted to formally apologize to him. I knew he was gonna follow through.
Do you know what TLDR stands for?
Motherfucker, this is a lot of info. This goes back like a year.
Just say you ran the guy over and didn't check on him.
Okay, well, you're talking to me. You think TLDR works with me? Do you know what the fuck you signed up for when you said TLDR?
I hope something like 2 sentences long.
Grab a fucking harness. It's a bumpy road.
Great. Debrief. Debrief. See, brief. That's the part we want to focus on. Okay.
That's hard.
Okay. Well, you gotta get good at it. You're a sergeant now. All right.
Yeah,
I gotta work now.
I am good at TLDRs. I tell corporals to do the shit that I don't need to have on my desk, and it goes really quick.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Listen, as much as I've loved this TLDR, I do need to get back to work. I've got a high command panel in 7.5 hours that I got to prepare for, and
For fucking who? What now? How many fucking panels you? Every time I talk to you, you have a panel.
that's not true. And
Last
maybe
time
it
I
is.
saw you, before we rode, you said I have to go to sleep, or I said I have to go to sleep, and you said that's fine. I have a high command panel later.
Okay, yeah, that was for Shelby. She got fired. Another panel we had before was for. Oh god, I can't remember who it was for. Silas. Silas quit. Yeah. Apparently there was one for Bobby Balderman for selling bombs. So that happened.
Oh, I
And
think I heard about that. I saw a report about it.
yeah, now we're having one for Brian, and then there's going to be one for Walter Christmas. And there was going to be one, between me and you, there was going to be one for Axel Justice. But he's dead now, so unless we have that, post-mortem, I don't think it's going to happen.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
Well, best of luck with everything. I would
you.
say if you need anything, let me know, but this is above my pay grade.
Yeah, it is.
So,
All right. You get out.
you take care. If you need anything, let me know.
All right. All right. Right. Mr. Postman. Hey, Mr. Postman. Do, 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 do. Do 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 do. Do. All right. I don't know what else we need to add to that, but I don't want to go on patrol, but we might have to. Oh no, prison's sorted actually. Is Libby still on duty? She is. What's she doing? Is she in a pursuit? I swear she does more patrol work as the chief than anybody. Right, who do we need to talk to? We need to talk to Castleman, but I think he's cleared up. Toretti, Stubble, we've already talked to, so I'm gonna cross him off. Andy, we've spoken to TJ. The question is, do we write a subpoena for Brian? But I don't know whether we do. I think realistically, we should handle internal matters first without having to subpoena somebody, and then once that's handled, then we can move forward. I think I want to do it like that. I don't want to kind of convolute everything with criminal and you know, internal punishments and stuff like that. I mean, there is. Do I bring up the Norman Bones thing? I don't think I do, because it's just I don't want to make this like weird and supernatural. But it's so fucking sus. It really is. So I might leave that one out, I'll be honest. Anything about him on Twitter? I don't think so. I think Libby's flying, and I want to talk to Libby afterwards, just to get her headspace on everything. Any judges or anybody about? Just lawyers. Oh, Nova's around. He'd not be texting a load of stuff that would get him in trouble. Yeah, I know. All right. So if that's the case, I don't actually know what I want to do right now. I need like a to-do list, man. I mean, this Toretti thing's pretty bad. Can I look at that? I'm gonna go see if I can see it. Yeah, Dark and Stubble do get along really well, and they're always pretty much on the same page. Stubble's very much the charismatic leader type, and Dark isn't. Dark's very much the bookish type, so I think they make a good pairing. What's needed to get his phone records? A subpoena? If you're on about PC for the subpoena, I mean, there's like I said last night, there's a couple of routes we could go, but it kind of depends on what. I don't want Dark to be making that kind of decision on his own, given it's a pretty big one. And I don't think Dark would want to be you know, stepping on anybody's toes. I think he's got to really, when it comes to that, he's got to have the decision with his high command. So we'll talk to Libby about it. But essentially, it's like, you know, what about the conspiracy to kill Divine when he was leaked? There's one thing, right? And then there's the kind of, I don't know what the word would be. I don't know what the crime would be either, but whether or not Brian either withheld or what kind of thing about the war so that the war could happen. You know, it's like we still don't have the evidence that Brian showed the commissioner. The Senate. We still don't have that slideshow. And I don't know why we don't have that slideshow, but I'm going to request it again tonight. Well, about that CDT, I was under the same impression, but then I spoke to Stubble yesterday, and Stubble was like, yeah, I spoke to Owen, and he's still on the same page about not firing Brian for the things that he's done overseas. But he's also under the impression that we could fire him for the things he's done a lot of shit on home soil. You know what I mean? As not a soldier. So, isn't the slideshow some OOC stuff? Is it? Oh, I don't know what OC stuff would you put in there. Oh, it's not OC stuff. Okay. I'm gonna call Libby. I want to thought so when she's done. I don't know why it's read. There we go. Do 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 do. Will she pick up? I think she's flying, so that might be why she can't answer. Yeah, and then she crashed. No, I think she's just flying. Take an S plus. I haven't done patrol work in like 2 weeks. Why is there a cadet in the river? Fuck. Oh, I did. Fuck. What the fuck, dude? Heavily, yeah. What's Lucy doing out there too? What the fuck is going on? I don't know. Okay, they're Ocean Gang. Oh, good for them. Look at all the NSPD officers on duty. I love that. I love that for us, mate. Oh, wait. He's a company. Oh, it's an SRU time trial. I see. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, let's go get some food and stuff. Let's listen in on radio too.
Crossing Vespucci.
Or Jackie,
Crossing
yeah.
San Andreas, still northbound Palomino.
2 streams
Over
today,
Del Perro
yeah.
Freeway, opposite lanes.
It's 28 degrees right now,
Right,
and it's
eastbound
gonna get
Del
hotter. So I'm probably gonna end stream in like a couple hours when it gets too hot, because the temp is going up. Yeah, it's getting to 29 at like 3 o'clock.
That looks like a really good box.
And then I'm gonna come back later for the panel.
Other officers arriving on scene. Watch out for Lambo. If the Lambo comes, bash it out of there, okay? The Explorer. The 2 SDSOs that just arrived, yeah, wait for that Lambo. As soon as that Lambo arrives, go for him. What's happening with the suspect? No visual currently.
Still, they're scooping the car up.
He's trying to get under.
Something maritime.
Oh shit, okay. Can we get spikes on it? Does it get set?
You finally getting temps below 32? Holy shit! It's 31 with your friendly. Yeah, I need